Guys, the people that we're about to watch today are dealing with major battles with ex-spouses. A lot of us have gone through a divorce. If you've never been divorced, I'm sure you've had a breakup. Sometimes they don't go that smoothly. Let's hear their stories.
My first question was why, what was going on that I was unaware of. And he just said that he's never been alone and he wanted to be alone. Well, obviously, if you've never been alone, you probably don't want to be alone. I spent the next 24 hours crying. I don't think I ever cried so much in my entire life. I was 27 years old with a 1.5-year-old waitressing. I didn't know how I was going to make it, how my life was going to look like without being married. I was, but ladies, we are capable of anything.
You are capable of anything, but that does sound kind of scary. 27, single mom of a 1.5-year-old, and you're making money by waitressing, which sounds to me like a struggle. That is kind of scary.
Did you realize you can call the police and accuse anyone of any crime you want? You can tell the police that your neighbor has dead bodies buried in their backyard. You can tell the police anything you want, that they're running illegal guns through their home if you want. You didn't know you could do that? Well, neither did I. But that's what my ex-husband has been doing to me for 7 years straight. He has sent Child Protective Services to my home 15 times in 7 years. He has sent the police here over 40 times, saying that I'm committing crimes that are felonies. He says that I'm stalking him and his wife. Well, they make fake social media accounts with my name and send themselves requests and threatening messages. I have spent over $400,000 on attorney fees.
Wow.
I wanted a divorce. I wanted to get the hell away from this man. But what has happened in 7 years? He's done nothing but relentlessly harass, emotionally abuse, threaten, emotionally devastated my daughters. This man is completely sick, and I'm done being silent. 7 years of cops coming to my house, kicking in my doors, running around my house with guns. I don't understand it. Why do they all believe him? Why does the judge believe him? Why do the police believe him? Why would they believe that a 50-some-year-old middle-aged woman with no criminal record would be committing felonies? He literally called the police and told them I was going to blow up an amphitheater at my daughter's commencements. Really? And then they just open an investigation. And a detective calls me, and I have to spend another $20,000. That's how you destroy someone's life. That's how you bankrupt them.
Okay, so I have an easy solution for her and anybody that's going through her situation if what she says is real. If CPS came to her house 15 times and the police came 40 times over a 7-year period, get a video camera and record what happens to you and what happens in your home 24/7. And the next time he invites the cops over, show them the video that you're totally innocent. That seems a heck of a lot cheaper than $20,000 for lawyers and stuff, legal fees. Wow, what a crazy story.
They're still bitter, still talking shit about you, still making everything your fault. Let me tell you what's really going on here. You see, when someone can't let you go, when they keep your name in their mouth for months, sometimes even years after the breakup, it's not because you did them dirty. It's because they can't face their own reflection. You see, it's easier for them to blame you than admit they're still stuck. They're not mad at you. They're actually mad that you're not mad, that you moved on, that you're doing better. Because if you were miserable too, it would justify their pain, but you're not. And man, does that eat them alive. So what do you do about it? Zero, not a nothing, nothing. You don't explain, you don't defend, you don't engage, and feed the drama. Keep leveling up, because the second you give them a reaction, you're back in their game. And trust me, they need that reaction, because without it, they have to sit with themselves. And man, sitting with themselves, I'm telling you, is the last thing they want to do.
I love that advice. Work on yourself, level up your game. Your ex will notice it, and their punishment is that they don't get to be with you. Beautiful advice there for men or women.
I posted a video about my ex-pastor, praise and worship leader husband, and basically just talking about how he's refusing to pay his personal property taxes because he's going to try to wait it out and make me pay them, because our vehicles and everything is still attached, or our taxes are. So I posted that video, I think about a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago, and still nothing. So posting it again. That video was saved and forwarded a few times, several times. So I'm assuming that the people that follow my TikTok just to show him things probably send it to him. So it's week 2. You've known for a long time that your portion needed to be paid and still haven't paid it. So I'm going to give it like one more week. And then I think I'm going to send like a certified letter to the family ranch that he's living at, which is his just family compound, if you will. I'll probably send it to the main house. I'll send it to the house that he is staying at. And I was thinking about possibly sending it to the church, even though the church secretary is like never there. I'm thinking the next thing I'll do was send the certified letters and just spit and see if that helps. And then if not, maybe call my lawyer back again and see if I can get anywhere with that route, because the first time I called my lawyer, I didn't really get anywhere because he doesn't answer the phone for his lawyer. So to my ex, pastor, praise and worship leader, please go to the courthouse, go to your lawyer, do whatever you need to do, or meet up with me there, and let's pay this, and you pay your portion, so that it's the last and final thing from our marriage and we could each move on finally.
Okay, so they have a mutual bill that she is connected to because it deals with their joint tax refund from when they were married. She's willing to pay her half. I think the good thing would be for him to do the same, unless there's some mitigating circumstances. Maybe this guy comes out of pocket for everything and he's fed up to here with it. But even then, it might still be good just to pay your half and be done with this situation. What do you guys think?
I kept having dreams about the affair. So one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I just had this urge, like I had to see his phone. It felt so real. So I wake him up. I know it's the middle of the night, but I wake him up. I'm like, please, can I see your phone? He agrees, but I didn't get too far on it. And he all of a sudden gets on top of me and strangles me.
Whoa,
He has
I
both
wasn't
his hands
expecting
around
that.
my neck. He is on top of me. Luckily, he gets off. I'm able to get him off, but he put his hands on me to protect him from me seeing what was on his phone. Also, my therapist has become super suspicious. She believes he has not cut off his affair partner by his actions.
Oh my God, what do you guys think of this? She wants to see the phone to see if he's cheating because she had a bad dream, right? He lets her, but then all of a sudden his emotions get the best of him. He starts choking the heck out of her. Of course she needs to get out of this relationship, right? Oh my gosh.
He's told me previously in June, after I found out that he cut her off via text. It's now August. I ask him again before work one day, and he changes the story and says he cut her off in person at work. And then, of course, he goes off to work. So then I'm spiraling. I remember I called off work, and then he sends me these screenshots.
I didn't message her at Airbnb. After a week or so of not talking, I needed to say my piece. I didn't want to talk over the phone or text or anything. I caught her for 5 minutes in the office one day. I don't remember the day. Weird conversation, but explained that I was in the wrong and a lot of stuff, honestly. I know I can't keep lying because lying put me here. I'm sorry, Shannon. No more lies, okay? I realize today I've been keeping this from you, and it's effing my brain over so bad. I read your something or another lying. Oh my God, why is that text there? Darn it. There's probably an easy way to get rid of the text, isn't there? I'm so sorry.
He changed the whole story that he told her in person, and then he's telling me he feels bad
I
for
read your
lying to
article
me.
today.
But as I've mentioned, we split
Okay, here's the back and forth. I can't keep lying to myself, though. Honestly, it's killing me so bad. So you've lied. She's not in the office. Every day, my mental health goes down from this. Everything I ask daily is a lie. You've had communication. It's so obvious from her tweets. I cannot keep lying to you like this if we are moving forward, and I'm sorry. Wait, whoa, what? What did I say? Please explain.
because he never cut her off. So he's literally feeling about lying, but lying about that. Ugh, insanity. I definitely pushed back way more. I would scream at him, stop controlling me, stop trying to gaslight me, stop lying to me. I broke a candle, I threw that thing on the ground. Our fights were intense. We had a mutual bachelorette party in Louisville, Kentucky to go to for our friends, and we had not hung out with anyone as he was trying to hide the affair and keep us away from others as they would suspect things. The whole weekend, in my mind, I felt awful. And I remember we were waiting for the car going home Sunday. And I started to get really anxious, almost into a panic attack. And he's held my hand and was like, I'm here. It's going to be okay. And I remember thinking in my mind, I'm not okay because you're here. Because
You're making me live in these lies. She has tattoos on one side of her body and she has no tattoos on the other. What that tells me is that we're seeing her clean side, right, from her point of view, but we're not seeing her evil side. If we saw her evil side, we might be taking the side of the other guy. But the other guy sounds like he's kind of dealing with guilt and really liking the other woman more. I know how guys think. I'm a guy.
3. Want to touch on parental alienation. I'm dealing with the situation of parental alienation with a teenage daughter. She barely turned 16. Now I'm fighting for my rights as a father. There's currently and have been for 1 year a parental schedule in place. It was in increments. The first 6 months where I got my daughter every weekend. The second increment of 6 months, I was supposed to get her every 2 weekends out of the month. Now, this day going forward, since last month, I was supposed to literally get my daughter joint custody, 1 week on, 1 week off. Literally. The mother can't swallow that. You know why? She wants that child support. Money's more important. Money's more important than the love a father could give her child. Money is more important. That's the basis on this bullshit. I know my case like no other. I can't afford an attorney at this point, much less do I want an attorney, because I know my case front and back. No one else does. It's just hard to prove when I'm going up against a lawyer. I've been going up against a lawyer, getting crushed. I'm not giving up though. And a lot of you shouldn't give up either.
So where I live in Arizona, they have a self-service center in the family courts. And if you're willing to kind of teach yourself and ask questions, keep in mind every time you ask a question, they let you know we're not able to by law give you advice, right? But if you can find a way to ask questions, you could potentially fight this without a lawyer. What he's talking about actually seems like something that's easy to fight, whether she has a lawyer or not. If you have a court order that says you have that child every other week and she refuses to bring you the child or do a drop off, just take a video camera footage of it, take it to the judge, and it should be an automatic victory. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong.
Ex-husband's wife too often, but when I do, I think about the time that we were in the middle of a horrible custody battle and we had to go to court, and she got on the stand, and my lawyer surprised us all with some photos that he had of this woman, and they were in really weird positions in her face. She was in really weird positions, and she had fake red stuff all down her face and all over her body. And he took them up to the stand and showed them to her and asked her if that was her, and she said yes. And he said, why would you take pictures like that? And she said, because I wanted to. And he said, well, you're posting them on some website he named. And she said, yeah. And he said, well, ma'am, that's a website. Did you know that? And she said, it's a lifestyle. And no shade to anybody who does that for a living. That's fine. No shade. Because it was just that this lady had driven us insane. She harassed my 15-year-old daughter at the time, to the point that she almost went to jail. She tried the parental alienation thing. She filed fake CPS claims against me. She tried to control me through my ex-husband, because her insecurities had rotted her brain completely at this point. And then they started asking her questions about her own kid, who she did have CPS cases against with, and they said, well, who's her daddy, and where's her father at since you're with this man? And she was like, this kid don't have no daddy. And the judge was like, ma'am, unless you did immaculate conception, your child definitely has a dad.
Okay, so what she's talking about is something really important. When you go to before the judge, there's a big piece of you that's just going to want to say everything, right? And argue everything. But you remember, they only care about the facts. So if you choose to be quiet and let other people choke on their own words, there's a good chance you can win without ever saying a word. So again, sometimes it's best to go with silence and let the other people hang themselves.
Get in your chest and your heart when you see your ex with his new girlfriend for the first time on vacation.
Oh, wow.
I learned that today from personal experience, and I think I might be scarred for life. It was enough to file for divorce today. Look at this.
Hey, look at, oh my God, look at her.
I fucking filled out the papers that have been sitting on my desk for 3 months.
God, look at the paint on the walls in the back. That's up real high where no 5-year-old kid did that. She must be out of her mind.
Because I need to separate, you know?
You do, definitely.
And if you need a reason to separate, don't wait for 3 years like I did to see your ex on vacation with his new girlfriend and all your friends, the people that married you, you know? So, turns out they're not my friends.
Aw.
He's gonna get those in the divorce too, so.
She thinks this is the proof that this is the worst part of her life ever, and this will sting for years, but all of us have been through a divorce. This is actually the best day of her life. Sometimes you need to see something like that to get the courage to sign the divorce papers and move on. And speaking of moving on, don't you dare move on. Hit the subscribe button, hit thumbs up, come back tomorrow. We'll watch some more fun videos together. I'll see you then.